Alright, finally got a 10L80 in here. We'll see how this goes. I'm not feeling very good at all. I got the COVID. 15 millimeters on the tail housing. On your wiring connector, there's two tabs. You want to pinch that together, shove it through. And not as easy to get to as the Ford. Not as easy as it all. Let me get over here. That is a whole lot harder than the Ford. 10 millimeters on the pump and 7 millimeter on the pump cover. This is the first design pump bolts. I'm going to upgrade to the second design Ford ones. They have an O-ring on the back side of them. Plus these are torque-to-yield bolts. They really need to be replaced every time you tighten them down. I'm not sure how the 10L80 kit's going to be. I know on the Ford kits they've been not putting the front seal in this cover, and you need to take both of your snap rings off. Get a scribe under this one and pry it off. There, quit being difficult. And there's our other one. And then we'll just pry the cover off. There we go. On your pump gears, the Chevy ones are cut like this. The Ford ones are straight, and they're having trouble with these and especially this bearing down here on this idler one. Actually, the center one, I guess you would call it. So you have to buy the whole stator to get this. Ford sells a 3-gear set that will swap over, so when you do swap it over, this washer, you leave it out. And I think I'm probably going to just go ahead and swap it over before we have an issue. Let's see if we can get this thing to sit to where we've got a good view. Use your envelope. Okay. $10mm pan. We got us a lot of metal. I think it's E6 for the inverted torques. $8mm on the valve body bolts. They do have an arrow pointing to the ones that you need to take off. Pull back on the tab, push in, pull your connector off. You're ready. Now I've got at least one more. .30 torques on the start and stop motor. Alright, where's my bolt? Oh, right there. Come on. Just sit like you're supposed to. Quit being a pain. Is that it? Nope. One more. Oh. Didn't even see the arrow right there pointing towards it. Pull up on your tab, unplug your harness. 8mm on the pump. Take the pump apart in a little bit. Pay attention where your speed sensors were. Pull down on your tab for your mode switch. Unplug it, push in on this tab right here, and then pull down and unplug it. Drive out your roll pin for your linkage. Pull out your pass-through linkage. This mode switch has to line up on that tab right there, and your rooster comb has to line up on that also. Pay close attention to this out here. Make sure it's not broken, cracking. The mushroom is coming off, and it's going to let this slide off. Now we can get in here between the clutches and the stator and push it out. You can get a screwdriver and push the clutches back so you can get in between. Okay, they want you to take the whole transmission, all the guts out in one piece. I do not do that. I'm going to show you the way I do it. I take it apart and build it in the case. You have to have a special tool to, well, you don't have to. It makes it easier. VMS Concepts makes ring sizers and tools to do this snap ring, this snap ring, the F-clutch snap ring, and to resize all your sealing rings. Very good tool. This is the cheapest that you're gonna, well, rephrase that too. You can find it cheaper, but not at good quality, and it's not that much cheaper. So buy VMS Concepts. I don't get paid anything from them. I don't get anything from them. So I'm just telling you, from my experience, that's the way to go. So we'll take this apart in a little bit. There. See if we can see in there. I don't know if we can or not. This is going to be difficult. Not quite far enough back, I don't think. Anyway, there's a retainer on here. Just pop it off. Try not to destroy it when you're pulling it off. It just pops into place. Then there's a nut. You're going to turn it clockwise. Yeah. Clockwise, and then it'll come off. Then there's a bearing. You have cushion plate, pressure plate, and then you have a bunch of cushion rings and your clutches and steels. And your other pressure plate. This should have stayed on here. Still feels good and looks good. Then there's a then you pull your ring gear off. Make sure there's no pitting, no teeth missing, anything like that. Here's another bearing. Then there's a snap ring that you're going to want to take out. Trying to keep from hitting the camera. Oh, come on now. There we go. And your planet will come out. Check your bearings, make sure they're not pitted. Your pinions, that they don't wobble, and not too much up and down movement. No missing teeth, no pitted teeth. Usually all this stuff's in good shape. Your sun gear, selective washer and bearing. Same here. I would recommend you put bushings in it. Got another sun gear and planet here. Be careful with this ring out here. The speed sensor reads off of that. Another bearing here. CDF drum and hub. Everything looks okay there. On the Ford version, this sleeve is bad about moving. It does happen on the Chevys also, just not as common. But I would recommend you either put the Sonex bushing in it, and you're going to need a oven to help you do that. I bought my oven off of eBay for about 85 bucks. Crank it up to about 250 degrees and let it sit in there for about an hour. Have everything drilled and tapped and ready to go, marked so that when you stick it in there, it's in the right spot, and that thing will fall in there like butter. And can't see it, but since this one hadn't moved, but when that sleeve moves down, you'll see that one of these lube slots is opened up just a little bit right here. They also tend to spin. The Sonex bushing will keep that from happening, or you can put the updated drum in it and it does the same thing as far as keeping it from sliding up and down. It doesn't do anything about the twisty motion. And it's you're gonna save yourself about $100 per drum if you do the Sonex one, but you're only gonna save money. Here's our ply plate. If you do quite a few of them, if you're just doing one, just buy you the drum. Snap ring here, another snap ring, and then a snap ring on the inside. This supply ring has to come off. Be careful taking it off that you don't bend it, because if you bend it, taking it off or putting it on can cause that piston right there to bind, and you don't want that. Alright, that bearing in here. These shells are horrible about wear. Right there and right here. They make an updated shell. Go ahead and change it. Do pay attention to where your marks are. They do have to line up, or they say it can cause a vibration. Bearing here. And our output shaft. Bearing here, and our case is empty. Our planet, it's what happens when that top part of the shell wears out. This contacts the sun gear here. This is reusable. Don't worry about the marks on it. When you get the new shell, it's going to lift it up off of there. Our sun gear. Alright. Snap ring here. Our ring gear comes off. And then there's another snap ring right here. Everything looks okay, so all that metal's coming from our torque converter, so we're going to need a torque converter. Our steels are burnt up on the E-clutch, so we'll need steels for that. And I'm going to put a pass-through connector on this and a range sensor, because it also had a code for that. New valve body, bushing kit, shell, drum. I'm going to do the valve body because I'm going to put a Gen 3 valve body on it. That's a Gen 2 right there. From what I've been told, only Gen 3s are available now. They fixed a problem that's in that valve body. Actually, both Gen 1 and Gen 2 have a problem of locking the wheels up driving down the freeway when a valve gets worn in there. So actuator feed limit valve, I think is what it's called. I have to double check the name of that. But anyway, when that valve wears out, it can cause the wheels to lock up going down the freeway. It downshifts from high gear all the way back down to second gear, brings the truck to a grinding halt. So that's not good. I don't know as far as this bushing in here. goes, I have been on the 10R80s getting this bushing in the bushing kit. So if it comes in the bushing kit, I don't need to buy the stator. If it doesn't, I've got to buy a stator because this bushing is severely worn. These sprags are horrible about wearing out. These pumps are horrible about wearing out. Just to get the pump apart, well, let's just go ahead and take the pump apart. See if we can get enough room here to do it. Just pop your cover off. With as much metal as in here, I'm going to bet this pump is bad. Take this E-clip off right here. Your gear comes off. Oh, I'm going to replace the gears on this to the Ford style. 30 Torx. Torques on the cover. Get right here and pry this cover off. We have a washer here, our pump shaft. I'm gonna pop off of there. Alright, we have a sealing ring, O-ring in here, a spring and check ball. Vanes and guide rings. Our rotor facing with the dot up, and if you look in here, it's just starting to go. Alright, there's a bunch of scratches, and the bluing's starting to come off. Once that bluing comes off, it wears very quickly, so definitely gonna get a pump. Alright, once we get this sold, we'll do the rebuild on it.